I met Tate when I was a very young boy, and recently Tate would always park in the back of our parking lot. One day he saw me coming from behind and out into the parking lot, and he said, "Henry, come here." And I came, and he asked me a question. He said, "Do you think everything I talked to you about, did it help you?" And I turned and looked at him and I said, "Yeah, you know, what you taught me and did for me helped me a great deal." And I began to talk about things that he did for me. I said, "I remember the first time I ever saw you in my life. My mother ran up to you and Aunt Lily and kissed y'all and hugged. And my mother said, 'This is your family, this is your cousin, all the way from Oklahoma, and we in San Diego.' And we looked at each other. My mother was just expressing how much she felt. And they were just, you know, just really showing love. That's the first time I met them. But then we found out that they lived right next to us, the alley. We was in the alley and they were right behind us. And we were just elated because how did that happen? All the way from Tulsa to Oklahoma to San Diego in the back alley. We were only family. And from that point on, Tate knew my name, knew all of us, and he helped my family. He helped me. We had a truck. It was a big white truck, the oldest truck in San Diego. But my stepfather, he had a city job. He threw cans, trash cans. But he had a second job, and that was junking. And that big old truck would break down so much, it was just crazy. Everywhere we went, it break down. But Tate, he was a mechanic. I don't know where he got the parts from. But he would come there and he'd work on that truck with the family. I mean, sometimes, long time ago, the alleyway was nothing but mud. And our alleyway was a mud hill going down and a mud hill going up by Tate's house. And our truck would get stuck in that mud with all that junk on it. My mother's car would get stuck trying to pull the truck out. Tate would come with his truck, pull us all out. And then he saved the day. So many times he did that. He was an orphan. He was a beautiful person. He could make a kite out of newspaper. A big kite. And it would fly higher than every kite. In my day, we had these little kites. And he would just stand by the kids and walk over there and see us and just took this big old kite made of newspaper. It flew all the way up in the sky. Just flew out the sky, it seemed like. And we were just sitting there just looking, amazed at it. But that's the type of man he is. He can do anything. I mean, I never saw a person so adept to doing everything. And he did it with a smile on his face. We get in trouble, and there were 2 trees in this yard that was next to Tate's. And Tate would be working, and my mother would say, "Go get a switch," because I'm wood. And we had to go get your own switch. And one of those switch trees was right by Tate. And Tate could see us, you know, at this switch. Who are you getting that for? Sometimes it would be for me. Sometimes it would be for my sisters and brothers. He said, "What did you do?" And I said, "Well, I did this." And he said, "Well, that's not too bad." Sometimes he'd tell us to get a big switch. But I told him, I was talking to him, and I said, "I remember the time that I was walking down the street and you saw us with a group of boys. And he told us to come here. And you know, I came. drugs were prolific in our neighborhood. Everybody in our neighborhood recognized Tate as one of the best. If you needed anything, you could come to him with integrity, and he would help you. He helped us every day, me every day of our life. I think that's why he said, don't forget what I've done for you. He was one of the most family-orientated men I knew. And he was always in the Bible. Everything he had was a Bible prerequisite of how he did things. Staying faithful to one woman for 56 years. That's beautiful. Our family is one of the best families in San Diego. And his friends, you can tell by his friends, his character. This was a man's man. The Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. And Tate was sharpening men. Those days I would work in that truck, and every day, he told me one day, it's going to make you a stronger man and a better man. And it did. Everything about him. He would come check on the family all the time. Me and Brian and Ray. Make sure us men have our stuff together. Are you all right? Are you okay? He was the sickest, but he traveled the farthest all the time. He made sure the family was together, especially us men. And that's what I love about this man. He's a man's man. I'm telling you. I went into the Marine Corps. I did just what he said. I was the strongest. I came out. I just want to live a life that was honorable to this man. He did so much for me, I'm still in debt to him. I know I'll see you on the other side. I know I will. Because he's a God-fearing man. We have the best family.